Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips Major League Baseball betting preview for today, the 22nd of July. We came back to earth with a little bit of a bump yesterday after what had been an excellent day the day before. We are still sitting pretty much 55, 58 points, I think it is, up on the season. There are lots of games today, so I'm going to dive straight in with the Detroit Tigers and the Chicago White Sox. Michael Fulmer, the rookie, is up for the Tigers. He has been outstanding this year. He enters the game with a 9-2 record and a 2.13 ERA, which does include a 7-1 record and a 0.83 ERA in his last 10 games. The White Sox lineup is very inconsistent. It does have power threats in a few places, but it may struggle against Fulmer unless he suddenly bumps into the rookie wall today. Should that occur, we are still likely to have chances with the ever-dangerous Detroit Tigers lineup. They're going to get to face a former Tiger in Jacob Turner today. He made his first start for Chicago at the weekend, allowing 8 runs against the Los Angeles Angels. This followed on from an ERA approaching 5 in the minor leagues this year. He was something of a disaster as well when he started for Detroit. His ERA with the Tigers was over 8. This will be the first time he'll be facing his former team. It's a hitter's ballpark with nice weather forecast conditions. It's not painting a very pretty picture for the White Sox, so we will take Detroit on multiple run lines. The Cleveland Indians come into Baltimore today. Trevor Bauer will pitch for Cleveland. He's 2-1 with a 2.78 ERA on the road so far this year. He looks like he might be finally starting to fulfil the potential since he was a hyped prospect many years ago. He faces a pitcher in Dylan Bundy of the Orioles, who is another hyped prospect, making just his second start. Bundy struggled in his first start, allowing 3 home runs amongst the 4 runs he allowed in less than 4 innings pitched. It's going to be a warm day in Baltimore. Camden Yards favours the hitters. The wind looks reasonably favourable as well. Baltimore have been affected by a stomach bug that's affected a number of players in recent days. Does appear as that may have passed through the team now, though Adam Jones and Matt Wieters missed yesterday's game with injuries and could still both miss this game, though they expect them both to be back. Certainly Baltimore can hit the ball. Cleveland certainly seem to have got a bit more consistent as the season's gone on with the bats. They started fairly, inconsistently, as I say. This looks like it's a game with a lot of runs, so we will play the over in this game, and I'm also going to play Cleveland on the run line to win the game because I think they are more proven and potentially much better on the hill, and Baltimore's bullpen is a little bit spotty at times, and they've been a few players missing with injury in recent games as well. The Texas Rangers are going to play the Kansas City Royals, the reigning champs, today. We know that Texas are very good at hitting left-handed pitching, and they get one today that's performed really well in Danny Duffy of the Royals. Both teams have been in something of a rut recently, losing more than they've been winning games, but we'll be hopeful with the pitchers they're sending to the hill today that they can get the win. Duffy, as I say, has been really good for Kansas City since transitioning from the bullpen to the rotation. He's gone 5-1 with a 3.27 ERA, but he did struggle more than usual, allowing 4 earned runs against Detroit last time out. He does carry a 7.24 ERA in 3 games against Texas in his career. Yu Darvish is up for the Texas Rangers. He's 2-1 with a 3.15 ERA since returning from the surgery that caused him to miss last year. In 2 career starts against the Royals, he is 1-0 with a 1.93 ERA. The only issue that we will have with this selection is that he has not been working deep into games. He's not completed 6 innings that often, and that leaves us open to the Texas bullpen, which is an area where Kansas have a massive advantage in this game. And, it's not even close, the difference between these bullpens. So I'm not going to buy any extra runs on Texas. I'm going to keep stakes fairly reasonable, but I am still going to play Texas on the run line in this game. Tampa Bay are in Oakland for the second game of their series, having won last night. They've now won 3 in a row on the road after a very long road losing streak. They will send Jake Odorizzi to the hill tonight. He looked in his last start like maybe he'd rediscovered his touch. He limited the powerful Baltimore Orioles lineup to just 2 runs. The Rays will certainly be hoping for another solid performance for him as the trade deadline approaches, and he is one of their better trade trips that they could flip somewhere else and look to rebuild. Odorizzi has struggled on the road this year somewhat, looking at his record. However, if you look at where he's pitched on the road, a lot of the games have taken place in very favourable hitters' parks, such as Fenway Park, Camden Yards. This isn't the case today, as the Coliseum, with its massive foul areas, favours the pitchers quite strongly, and is a pitcher's park, much like Tropicana Field, the home ballpark for Odorizzi. Sean Mannion pitches for the A's after an emergency relief appearance at the weekend. He started the year terribly, but he has improved a lot since his return from injury. The Rays won the series opener last night. As I say, that was their third consecutive on the road. The A's had been playing very well post the All-Star break. They're likely not going to get a long respite tonight with their lefty on the hill. As I say, the Rays are amongst the best in the American League at hitting left-handed pitching, so I'm happy to take the chance that Odorizzi pitches well again and the Rays bats keep on hitting, especially against the lefty. I'll take Tampa money line and I'll buy some runs for a run line as well. Looking at the game in the Bronx, the Yankees hosting the Giants. It's Madison Bumgarner against Masahiro Tanaka. Why on earth would I want to play the over in this game? Well, I'll tell you. Weather conditions are forecast to be hot with the wind blowing out at Yankee Stadium today. Bumgarner has not been dominant in interleague play in his career. At something like 21 interleague appearances, he's got a 3.75 ERA. He comes into this game off of a bad start, having allowed 4 runs on the road in defeat at San Diego, of all places. Masahiro Tanaka will oppose without having been afforded extra rest. He has thrived this year with extra rest, has an excellent record. He has struggled on regular rest when they've not given him that extra day with a 5.33 ERA in 8 starts. Both lineups are a bit spotty and they can hit for power, just not necessarily consistently. I just think the line of 7 is too low when you look at all the factors in play, so I will take the over in this game. And the other game I want to look at is the Boston Red Sox against the Minnesota Twins. Over under is set at 10.5 for this game. It's a big number. Let's make no mistake about that. But hitting conditions look outstanding at Fenway today. And while Eduardo Rodriguez actually pitched a good game against the New York Yankees last time, it is well known that the Yankees struggle with lefties. And even with 7 innings of 1-run ball against those Yankees, his record for the season still reads a very bad 2-3 with a 7.18 ERA. He gets a Twins lineup that's developed a home run habit in the last few weeks. We know that Boston have got plenty of power. They destroyed Minnesota starter Kyle Gibson when last they met. They scored 5 off of him in 5 2/3 innings and eventually went on to score their season high total of 15 runs in that game. The bullpen obviously got heavily worked last night as well with the Tyler Duffy had a bad start and got pulled early, and Boston scored 13 in the opener of the series yesterday. So obviously they're seeing the ball well, the bats are hitting. It does appear that Boston like to face the Twins, the worst team in the American League. I don't trust Rodriguez enough to bet on Boston, but I do think there's runs in this game, so I'll play the over at 10.5. Keep an eye on the Twitter account in case I do put anything else up later on, but those are the plays I've got for you today. Best of luck with your lineups. Best of luck if you're having a play, and I'll see you tomorrow.